So no one traveled outside of India. So it appears in the 400 years, because everything ultimately is working on Krishna's desire. It's called yadrichaya. Yadrichaya means the free will, independent will of Bhagavan. So he wanted it spread in India, he wanted Raganuga Bhakti spread in India, but when it came to overseas, he said these people don't have adhikara. They don't have adhikara. Indians, generally, our minds are much more sattvic, much more peaceful, and much more less crazy than people in the West. There's a lot of craziness outside of India. You can see by the behavior patterns and what's popular over there. This is so. 100 years ago, Krishna inspired different acharyas to emphasize chanting Hare Krishna, and follow Navavida Bhakti. And so that outside of India, that's the primary practice that's being distributed. It's the external cause of Mahaprabhu's appearance is primarily found outside of India by the contemporary and neo Gaudiya Vaishnava movements. There's traditional and neo. Neo means new. So they're taking a different twist, but they have solid shastric bases because they're amplifying the external purpose. So you look at the world outside of India, that seems like that's the only purpose. That's Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Gaudiya Vaishnava means practicing Navavida Bhakti and chanting Hare Krishna. That's the general impression everyone has outside of India. And that's also correct. But that's the external purpose. It's not the antaranga purpose that Lord Chaitanya came to preach, and it's not what he ordered. He ordered everyone to take up Raganuga Bhakti and go bhava. So that's why it's very, very rare, because the adhikar, the qualification to practice Raganuga Bhakti, is special mercy. Special mercy, it says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in the first wave, chapter 2, verse 309, Bhagavan Karunya, Bhakta Karunya, Machala Vaika Hetuka. The only cause to develop greed or interest or desire to follow the path of Raganuga Bhakti is the mercy of Bhagavan or the mercy of Raganuga Bhakti. Otherwise, your head never turns that direction. And that mercy may have come in previous life, praktana mercy or adoneka, may have come in this life. But some people from the very beginning of their bhakti practice, they start practicing Raganuga Bhakti at the level of Nartanivriti. This is described in Raga Chandrika. So let's now look at some of the internal reasons. The whole Chaitanya Caritamrita starts off right, like we say, we have a phrase in America, start off with a bang. Start with a bang. Like, sometimes parties starts off with a bang, sometimes parties have to get warmed up, Sometimes as soon as you get to the party, it's happening, So Chaitanya Caritamrita starts out, Adi Lila, chapter 1, verse 4, establishes the whole purpose of the book. It's prayers to the Mangalacharana, which are the invocatory prayers, which explain the theme of the book, what's going to be described in this book, what is this book about, who is this book about, why is this book written, what is the purpose, all who, what, when, where, and why questions you may ask about a book. What is this book about? Where does it take place? Why is it? Who is it? It's all explained in Adilita chapter 1, verse 4. And this verse, the Acharyas refer to this verse, they say this verse is Paribhasa Sutra. Sutra means a shloka, a pada, a verse. And Paribhasa, bhasha means language, all the words are, it's a theme. In other words, briefly, it's a theme, it's the essence of the whole book in one shloka, called Paribhasa Sutra. What is the Paribhasa Sutra of Bhagavad Gita? 1865, chapter 18, verse 65, which is Pratijane Priyosime. One should always think of Krishna, become his devotee, offer respects to him, and worship him. Everything about the Gita is leading to this conclusion and expanding upon and connecting to this conclusion. So the entire Chaitanya Caritamrita, from verse 4 all the way to the 1 to the end of the 11,500 verses, is all about this verse. So what is that verse? Anarpita chirim chirat karnayavatirna kalo samarpayatum unat ujjala rasam sabhakti shriyam. Hari Purta Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipa Sadaridya Kandare Swaratu Vas Sachinandan. May Sri Sachinandan be transcendently situated inside your heart. He's effulgent as the color of molten gold. Sachinandan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Kali Yuga by his causeless mercy to bestow what no other avatar has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of Bhakti Bhajan, conjugal love, which means the amorous love of Radharani, of Krishna, and the service of Radharani. So Bhakti Shriyam. So Bhakti Unat Ujjala Ras. Unat Ujjala Ras means Madhurya Ras, amorous love of Radharani Krishna, and so Bhakti Shriyam means to be devoted to Sri Rati Radharani. So in Kunja Bihari, Babaji Maharaj, who's the guru of Anantadas Babaji, he cites this verse in his treatise describing Manjari Bhav. It's called Manjari Srup Nirupan. He says that this verse indicates Bhavalas Rati, which is a special type of loving attachment to Radha and Krishna, especially to Radharani, which is mentioned by Rupa Goswami and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And this verse that we just read, 134 from Chaitanya Caritamrita, is written by Rupa Goswami and it comes from Vidagdha Madhav. It's part of the Mangal Charana Vidagdha Madhav. Because it explains the Antaranga Karan, the internal reason for Mahaprabhu's appearance. So he says, the most elevated of all transcendental erotic raptures, which means rasas, is the affection that the Sakhis of Radharani love Radharani more than they love for Krishna. This is called Bhavalas Rati. It expands the divine feelings of Radharani and is the crest jewel of all devotional achievements. This is a special gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's another translation of this verse, Anarpita Chirim Chirat. This elevated, effulgent taste of ras is the wealth of bhakti. Bhagavan never gave it at any time. Yet out of his mercy, Krishna came in Kali Yuga to distribute this love of Radharani to the world. Appearing in a golden form as the son of Sachi, may he dwell in your hearts forever. So Mahaprabhu infused all of his power in the heart of Rupa Goswami. That verse is there in Prem Bhakti Chandrika. What is that verse? There's a verse that describes how Mahaprabhu filled the heart of Rupa Goswami with his internal desire. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stavitam Hina Bhutale Swamrupa Kadama Sadantikam Dadati Swapadantikam. So the Manobishta, the heart's desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was placed in the heart of Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami and Raghunath are the gurus of Raghunath Bhakti. Where's that from? That letter. So I asked my teacher about this verse because Kunja Bihari Babaji Maharaj says that this verse from Chaitanya Caritamrita 1:1-4 indicates Bhavalas Rati. Well, other people just say it indicates Mahabhava Radharani and the service of Radharani. But so my teacher said this verse 1:1-4 Chaitanya Caritamrita he said there's no direct evidence to prove that this is indicates Bhava Rati, but there's decisive circumstantial evidence. He says the circumstantial evidence is that each chapter of Chaitanya Caritamrita ends. How's it end? So, this guy's like walking encyclopedia. Now I got 2 encyclopedias. That's good. So every chapter ends with my heart and soul. Krishna's Gauraj is praying. I want to attain the feet of Rupa and Raghunath. So obviously, Raghunath means Raghunath Das. Rupa means Rupa Manjari. So Chaitanya inspired the heart of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das, and that's how he's distributing the mercy of Manjari Bhava. So that's this circumstantial evidence. Thank you. Circumstantial evidence, but the whole Chaitanya Caritamrita is solid evidence that whether this verse indicates Bhava Rati, that's different ideas what it indicates. But the teaching of Lord Chaitanya, the entire Chaitanya Caritamrita, is distributing and preaching about Rag Bhakti and Manjari Bhava, worshipping Radharani. So let's go and let's look into this, how this is so. Okay. Oh, chapter 1, now you go to chapter 4. Let's see a little harder to deal with it. So I can't turn my book here. Okay. Guess I should have everything on a tablet. I'm a little old-fashioned, I guess. Out of sync, I guess. Out of the sink. Okay. What do we have here? 1:4:14. Prema Ras, this is Ayurveda chapter 4, verse 16. Prema Ras Niryats Karite Ashradan Rag Marg Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharan. This is the big one. He says, I came to relish Prem Ras, taste Prem Ras, and preach Raghunaga Bhakti. 1:4:16. Because in chapter 3, the external reason, it says, I came to preach Nam. That's how we started the class. So here he's saying, Rag Marg Bhakti Karite Pracharan. Pracharan means prachar. So from there it goes on. That's what the whole book is. Lord Chaitanya is preaching the tattvas. There's 2 aspects of reality in spiritual life. One is tattva, one is lila. So Lord Chaitanya preaches the tattva of Raghunaga Bhakti throughout Chaitanya Caritamrita, and he shows the lila of Raghunaga Bhakti. He shows Unarujala Ras in his person and his behavior, and his anubhavas and experiences. And Lord Krishna, why Krishna came? Because his desire to appear was manifested by 2 reasons. This is text number 16. That was 15 and 16. Rasika Shekhar Krishna Parama Karun Edui Hetu Haite Ichar Udgam. Two Icha, Doi Icha, Do Icha. 2 desires arose. It says birth, it's not really birth. Udgama means manifested. So one was the desire to taste the sweet essence of Radha's love. Rasika Shekhar. Parama Karuna. And he wanted to be nice. He wanted to show compassion to the world by giving this taste of Bhakti Rasa, Madhura Rasa to the world. So this is the point. That's part of the internal reason. So we're going to read another verse here. We're going to focus on verses where the Chaitanya Caritamrita describes Raganuga Bhakti. That's what we're doing here. This is chapter 4, Adilila chapter 4. In terms of Tattva and philosophy, what are the two most important chapters of Chaitanya Caritamrita? Adilila chapter 4 and Madhya chapter 8. Those are two most important. To understand what is Raga Bhakti, to understand Radha and Krishna's Bhakti, understand the practice. What is the Siddhanta? Well, we say Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. You want to understand what it is? You read Adi 4 and Madhya 8. Then you understand it. Maybe. You're on your way. So, this is text 33, Adi 4. Brajer Nirmala Rag Shuni Bhaktagan Rag Marg Bhajayena Chari Dharma Karam. It's Brajer Nirmal Rag Shuni Bhaktagan. When the devotees, Bhaktagan, when the group of devotees Shuni hear about the pure Brajarag, the pure loving attachment of Brajvasis, it creates some desire, may, if you're fortunate, create some desire to taste that, to experience that, to have that, to attain that. Then Rag Marge Bhaje Chari Dharma Karma. Then one starts to follow the path, he starts to worship in the path of Rag Marg without any consideration of Dharma Karma. Karma means Varnashram Dharma, that's karma. There's a monkey there. He's on the corner. He stuck his head out, a little baby monkey. Keep an eye on that. There's a monkey on the corner there. He's trying to come inside. Bandur.
Bandar?
He's hanging off the wall. He maybe fell down. He came back?
No, he's not there.
You missed the darshan. It's rare darshan. You know? That's a swirty. Not very desirable, though. These type of swirties we can do without. So when one hears about the pure love of the Brajvasis, if one is fortunate, you'll want to do Rag Bhajan. Raganuga Bhajan. Most people, they hear about it and it goes in one ear, one out the other. Like sometimes I met people, they say, "You give me a good book," I give them Go Into the Amrita. So I read it, they come out, I say, "Well, I don't like it." That's so. I read that book and went crazy. So no appetite, just unfortunate. What to do? It's okay, no problem. But we would like everyone to take it up. I can remember times in Kartik, at the end of Kartik, Sri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj would cry when he was speaking about a particular subject. He was saying, Mahaprabhu has come to give this Raga Bhakti, this gift of Manjari bhava to everyone. Because no one has this fixed Stairati. Everyone can attain this Stairati of Madhura Bhav, and practice Raga Bhakti and become a Gopi or Radharani by the mercy of Guru and Parampara. But he said, no one's taking this up. He said, there's so many Gaudiya Vaishnavas in the world. They come to the shore of the ocean, but they're just looking at the water, not jumping in and swimming. Gopi Bhavar Samri Tapti Lahari Kalola Magno Mahura. Gopi bhava, rasamri tabdi. Lahari, lahari means waves. They should tumble and roll in the waves of Gopi bhava. So when he would say, he says, he said, I feel so sad that there's thousands of Gaudiya Vaishnavas around the world, and more are joining every day, but no one's getting this gift. And he would cry, his voice would choke up, and he would cry. Because he was great compassionate acharya of Raganuga Bhakti, one of the greatest acharyas of the last 100 years in India, of the Raga Marg. So people that preach Raganuga Bhakti, they also have feelings like that also. Why don't people take this up? What are they missing? You know, they're just, see, you know, even you give them a book and say, read this to see what happens. No, I read half, I don't like it. Okay. You can take a horse to water, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. There's a phrase like that in America. A horse is a big animal. If he doesn't want to drink, he's not gonna, his neck is stronger than your whole body. You can take his neck and throw you across the field. You know. So he doesn't want to bend his head down and drink water. You bring him to the water trough, say, hey, have a drink. Say, I'm not thirsty. You can't make him drink. Come. Try to pull his neck down. Kick you, you know. He knows he has horses. He rides horses. He knows. I rode a horse also when I was a kid. Okay, let's horse around here. Okay, so what's the verse here? 140, that's the 149. I don't know the verse here. Oh. Nice verses, but it's not exactly on the point. Well, okay. This is I wonder. No. This is chapter 6 of Adi Lila, verse 66. Yan sabara upare Krishna priya nayan tanar apanake kare dasyaviman. Even beloved girl, Krishna's beloved Sakhis in Vrindavan, the dust of their feet, it was desired by Uddhav. And these gopis are more dear to Krishna than anyone else, but they regard themselves as Krishna's servants. It's called Dasyaviman. Just like sometimes people get confused. They say, we're Madhurya Ras, but we're Dasis. So we're Dasis, it means we must be Dasiras or Dasirati. No, our Stairati is Madhur, but our Abhiman, our mentality is we're conjugate, we're amorous servants. That's another way of saying it. Because we have Dasya, Abhiman means the mentality. Abhiman, what's your mentality? And Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami says, city property, if you have the right Abhiman, just by right Abhiman, you can attain perfection, Bhakti Bhajan. You just maintain Abhiman, always have the mentality, Ami Radha Dasi, Radha Dasi. I'm a servant of Radharani. Everybody else thinks I'm this or that, I'm Russian, I'm American, this. Everybody has all kinds of misconceptions about me, but my mind doesn't have those misconceptions. My identity is this. I'm fixed and clear in my eternal identity as a Radhadasi. So this, Jiva Goswami says, just by maintaining this Abhiman, he doesn't talk about sadhana and all kinds of things. If you can maintain this Abhiman throughout your life, in die you attain siddhi, you attain prema. Because that's mentality is what saves you. In 8.6 Gita it says what? Yam yam vavisvaram bhavam jajanti kaleram tam tam aveti kontaya sada tad bhava bhavata. Sada tad bhava bhavata. That bhavita, that mentality that you're always cultivating, that you'll attain. So Krishna everywhere talks about, and Gita everywhere talks about smaran and bhav. So many verses about bhav and smaran. Remember me. The words are there. Smaran, smaran. Remember me. Think of me. What's that verse 9th? It's from the 9th chapter. Yeah. 9-5?
8-5.
No, not 8-5. No, always think of me. Manushmara Yutyacha.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Manushmara Yutyacha. That's 9th chapter Gita. Real number? That's true. You got 90% home. 99% home. So there he's saying Smaran. Everywhere the word Smaran is there in Gita. Gita is talking about doing Lila Smaran, Krishna Smaran. Smaran Krishna Nam Rukun Lila. So let's look at some other verses. Jai Radhe Shyam. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Ganga Mahaprabhu ki. Gauranga. Not too enthusiastic. Gaur Leela turns into Krishna Leela. What is our Gaur Srup? Our Gaur Srup is a sadhak right now. Dr. Yashaswini is our Gaur Srup. Ishwar Krishnadas is that's his Gaur Srup. That's what my guru told me. Say your Gaur Srup, but when we meditate on Yoga Pit, I do Smaran, and when we meditate as a Brahmin. Vaishya Brahmin, because that's the Shastra injunction when you chant Diksha mantras and Navadi Dhyan, you're supposed to meditate, you're a Navadi Brahmin. When you chant Vrindavan Dhyan mantras, you meditate, you're Mantri Srup. Or you're Dasi Radharani, generic Dasi. generic medicine, generic Dasi. Waiting to be unveiled. Oh, wow. Who is that? Okay, what's it? Where are we now? 153. Where is 153? Oh, what is it? Sure, a little bit better prepared here. Excuse me. Not doing too good. Anyway. So I got things. Oh, okay. That's okay. Okay. Excuse me. That's not pages. Verses. Okay, what? Get my brain here together. This is describing the Gopi's love. It's a very nice verse. No, well, wait a minute. There's a couple of verses before that. Wait a second. There's a lot of false stars here. Okay, 149. This is Adi Lila, verse, chapter 4, verse 149. E Madhurya Amrita Pana Sala Ekari Krishna Shanti Nai Krishna Bhari Nirantari. It means one who drinks the sweetness of Madhurya Ras is never satisfied. Rather, the thirst increases constantly. I like this verse very much. And how many times have you heard Govinda Lilamrita Vilava Kusumanjali? I made a recording of it. I heard it 10,000 times. I recorded it in 2018. Vilava Kusumanjali, Sankalpa Kalpadru. And so many. I hear it all the time, and I just love it every time. I get more and more nectar from it. The Madhurya Amrita, pana means drink, to drink the nectar of Madhurya Lila. Sada means always, Krishna means thirst, Shanti Nahi. Shanti means peace, pacified. Your thirst will never be pacified. Like we say, we shall have Krishna for Krishna. Krishna means thirst for Krishna. Well, Krishna. Some people, they say, when I chant Hare Krishna mantra, I feel like I have sawdust in my mouth. Sawdust, and so what? There's no taste. But some people, when they chant Hare Krishna, they're relishing taste. They're relishing. Well, nice. Generally, devotees are tasting, so otherwise, how do you go on? I always say, you're not tasting, stop trying. But Rupa Goswami says, we're not tasting because of jaundice. If someone has liver disease or whatever it is, jaundice, one loses it. At least our shastras say, lose the ability to taste sweet. Now, I got jaundice when I was 17, before I knew about Krishna Bhakti, and I couldn't taste sweet. So my eyes were yellow. And the medicine the doctor gave me was an old-fashioned doctor from Germany or something like that. He said, you should eat sweets. He told me to eat sweet candies, chewy candies, called chuckles or something like that. The chewy, gooey thing, you know. Not gooey, chewy. Like rubber type, like rubber. And I just eat those all day, and it tasted like rubber. It didn't taste sweet. And gradually, after about 5 weeks, I was always tired all the time, sleeping. I was drinking lemonade all the time and chewing these sugar candies. I got better. So Krishna's name and Madhurya Ras, you'll always be thirsty to relish it. I got Vilada Kusumanjari in 1989, first time. First edition was in 1989, and Waita Das gave it to me personally. I'm reading it since then. That's quite a long time. Finish, and you got word-for-word meanings and different ideas about it. It's unlimited. So we should understand what the real experience of Raga Bhakti is. This is verse 153. Govyascha Krishnam Uvalabhya Chirata Bishtam Prekshane Drishiso Pakshakritam Shapanti Drigabir Ridi Kritam Alam Pairabhya Sarvas Tadbhavamapur Abhi Nitya Yujam Dharapam. This is a Bhagavatam from 1082. When the gopis met Krishna at Kurukshetra, they spoke this verse. One of the verses. They said, the gopis saw Krishna, their lover, Krishna at Kurukshetra after a long separation. How long was the separation? Krishna left Vrindavan when he was 11 years old. How old was he when he met the gopis at Kurukshetra? I've seen some comments on this chapter 82, and the Acharya said 55. Because in the Battle of Kurukshetra, which was later, much later than that time, how old was he then?
120.
No. He was 100. How long did Krishna stay on the planet?
125.
125. How long did Vaitacharya stay on the planet? 125. Rami Jivan. He was. That's really amazing. Lifespan. So maybe if you're in his party, maybe you're in his party, blessings a little long life. But that's destiny. That's destiny can change with transcendental ingress of kripa, and we see. I know personal examples of people's destiny has changed, and that's possible. Well, that was that verse. So they say, the Gopis are saying in this verse 153, the Gopis saw Krishna after 44 years, because he left when he was 11, and they took him through their eyes, they took him into their hearts and embraced him. And they attained happiness so intense that even perfect yogis can't attain it. At that time, however, the Gopis cursed Brahma for creating eyelids that blink. So how fast, what's the space between eye blinks? I think it's 1/30th of a second or something. 1/30th of a second. Eyes are blinking. Eyes are blinking all the time. We don't notice it. They're doing so fast. That's the speed of an eyelid blinking. That was phenomenal, right? Then when you see a pretty girl, how fast they go. So the Gopis are seeing Krishna, and they don't want to be disturbed for that amount of time. Because there's a verse in Shikshastakam that describes this principle. What is that verse? Yugayitam nameshena chakshusha pravishayam sunayatam. So it says nimesha. What does nimesha mean? Nimesha means a blink of an eye. Nimesha, it's a measurement of time. Actually, it's 1/30th of a second. And in the purport of that verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that there's a Vedic measurement. Time is measured into trutis. You know how much truti is? I don't mean chuti. I don't mean vacation. I mean truti. Truti is 1/1700th of a second. So he explains in that commentary, Vishwanath, although it was, the Gopis couldn't bear the Yugayitam nameshena, a blinking of an eye separated from Krishna felt like 1,000,000 years of yuga. He said it was like a truti. So even if they don't see Krishna for 1/1700th of a second, they die. That's intense attachment. Unbelievable. Just pray for one truti of that, or one little bit of that. So that's 153. 169. Verse 169, Adi Lila 4. So one who follows, this is describing the Gopis, how much surrender the Gopis are, how much detached the Gopis are. Loka Dharma, Veda Dharma, Deha Dharma Karm, Laja Darya, Deha Shuka Abma Shuka Marm, Dusya Ja Aryapata, Nija Parijan, Swajane Karya Jata, Tadana Bhartsan, Sarvatyaga Kari Krishna Bhajan, Krishna Sukha Hetu, Kari Prema Sevan. So it started off bad, but it ended up with a good ending. Said, this is all the things they rejected. Loka Dharma. Loka Dharma means social customs. Vedic Dharma. Vedic Dharma means the Dharma of the scriptures. And Deha Dharma means the Dharma of the body. In other words, taking care of the body, their physical body, and caring for it, bathing, dressing, this, that. They didn't care of anything. You can read in commentaries of Vishwanath that when Krishna entered Mathura, the very amazing commentaries, when Krishna entered Mathura, Krishna Balaram, they took a tour of Mathura city. The first night they got there, the next day they knocked off Kamsa. Right. So when Krishna and Balaram are walking down the street of Mathura, the Mathura Ramanis, the young married ladies of Mathura, they heard that Krishna was walking by their house, so they were serving their husband prasad. They dropped the bowl and ran out of the dining room. And some were getting married at that time. They were going around the fire tied to their husbands. They took a knife, cut the knot of their husband, and ran out of the house to see Krishna. And some were getting bathed, and they just ran to the towel. They were still wet. They jumped out of the bathtub, whatever, wrapped the towel around them, and ran out to see Krishna. And some were getting dressed and decorated, and they had their petticoat on and their sari, but they didn't have anything up top. They ran out anyways to the rooftop to see Krishna. What? So that's how eager they were to have Krishna's darshan. You can understand what eagerness of the gopis, have some idea what the eagerness of the gopis are to have darshan of Krishna by living near Raman temple. Live near Raman temple for a week. I do it sometimes. And go to Mangalarti. And you'll see, when the bell starts ringing, dong, 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 it means Mangalarti gets started. There's a warning bell, 5 minutes before it rings. So I remember I was in a guest house nearby there staying. So I'd come, Mangalarti, I'm running. And other people were running too. They, like me, thought it was Mangalarti. So all these old ladies were all running down the street together like cows running home or something. It was so funny. I saw ladies running by, mostly ladies going Mangalarti, and some guys also. I said, it's Mangalarti, and I go, let's go. It's like a stampede. And right up there, and the green light, when you come to the entrance gate, there's a green light means darshan's on, a red light means darshan's not there. So the green light, go! Step on the gas. When you see a green light, you step on the gas. When it goes faster, I get there, that was a warning bell. Then you sit down and recover then. So much utsaha, so much utkanti to bhava, and excitement, enthusiasm at darshan of Radha Raman. Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanavari, Mera Radha, Mera Radha, Mera Radha Ramana Giridhari. So they give them all this stuff. They give them their shyness, dharya, their patience, their daya-sukh, happiness, their own bodily happiness, and atma-sukh, and marma, any kind of physical sense gratification. It says they gave up Aryapat. Aryapat means Varnashram Dharma. Tushtaja, they rejected it, threw it far away. That's difficult. No, Tushtaja means it's difficult to give up the path of religion. They gave it all up. Nija Parijan. Nija Parijan. Nija means my own. Parijan means your relatives, your people. They gave up their husbands, wives, brothers. Goodbye, get out, finish. I'm going to Krishna. You can't stop me. It says, Vishnu says, even their husbands were standing with sticks in their hands, and the gopis ran right by. I said, get out of my way, man. The husbands are standing with cricket bats in their hands. No, there wasn't any cricket. With lathis in their hand. You can't go to Krishna. Well, who says I can't? Get out of my way, big boy. So, Swajan, Tadan, Bartsan. Tadan means they weren't afraid of punishment or scolding. Tada means to beat. Tada means to beat. And Bartsa means dirty words and scolding. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but knees will never hurt me. So they went to render service for Krishna. Krishna Sukhahetu Prema Sevan. They went to do Prema Seva Krishna for his happiness. That's the whole idea of bhakti. Everything we're doing is for the happiness of Radharani and Krishna. So now, another verse. This takes 218 in Madhya 4. It shows the exalted position of Radharani. Krishnara Vallabha Radha, Krishnara Pranadan, Tan Vino Sukha Hetu, Nahi Gopi Gan. Radharani is Krishna's Vallabha. Krishna Vallabha is the name for Radharani. Nice. Krishna Vallabha Dasi, Surna Radharani. Nice name. Radha Krishna Pranadan. Krishna, who is Krishna? Krishna Pranadan means the wealth of my life is Radharani. Krishna Pranadan, Radharani. Without Bina Radharani, without Radharani, the gopis can't give Krishna, all the gopigan, all the groups of gopis, all the Yuteswaris, all the group of gopis, they can't give any happiness to Krishna without Radharani. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Text 220, Adi 4. Sri Radhara Bhava Lana Chaitanya Avatar Yugadharma Nam Prema Kaila Prachar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Avatar, appeared with Radha Bhav, and he preached the Dharma for this age. Prema, Nam Prem. Yugadharma Nam Prem. That's the Dharma. Dharma is Nam Prem. Chant the holy name with love. That's nice. And that one of verse 265. Basically, we're reading Caitanya Caritamrita together. So we're supposed to hear Shastras on appearance days. Oh, okay. What's the loss? Battery's dead? So I'm going to get my battery charged. Okay, listen. Maybe a little hard, but gee whiz, man. This is a demanding place for class. This is 94, verse 265. Raga Marge Bhakta Bhakti Karye Prakare Ta Shikaila Lila Acharandari. Lord Chaitanya said, I taught Rag Marg. What happened? Huh? Extension. There's extension. It's long. It's long. You take it out, bring it down. It's plugged in the speaker, so as long as the speaker wire is there. No, lift it. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, there you go. You're on your way down. That's one way to do it. Let's see what happens here. So this verse, in Adi 4, verse 265, is solid evidence that Lord Chaitanya came to teach Rag Bhakti. It says, Rag Marg Bhakta Bhakti Kare Prakare E Shikaila Lila Acharana Dwari. He said, Acharan Dwari means through the door, or by the practical demonstration. Shika means Shikaila, means like we say shiksha means teaching. So Shikaila, he said, I taught about my pastimes, and I Rag Marg Bhakti Bhakti. I taught Raghunaga Bhakti to the Bhaktas and my Leelas. This is a very important verse to show that Lord Chaitanya. Another verse that we just heard that he came to preach Rag Bhakti, and it's another verse that says he came to preach Rag Bhakti. 265, Adi 4. Rag Marge Bhakta Bhakti Kare Prakare Ta Shikaila Lila Acharandori. What's that? Now we're going to go Madhya Chapter 8, the famous Chapter 8. There's Chapter 1. There's Chapter 8. A lot of pictures. Prabhupada said pictures of Krishna Leela or Gaura Leela are windows to the spiritual world. I really like that phrase. You look at that and you see his spiritual personalities engaged in Leelas or whatever. Nice. Okay. Ready? This is Madhya Lila Chapter 8, verse 220. Just now coming. 220. This is 220, verse 220. Say Govi Baba Mrite Yanra Lobahai Veya Dharma Lokatyaji E Krishna Bhajai. One who is greedy to taste the nectar of Govi Baba worships Krishna without considering about popular opinion or the rules of Vedic Dharma. Text 21, Chapter 8, Madhya Raganuga Marge Tane Bhaja Ye Jan Se Janapaya Braje Brajenanandan. If one practices Raganuga Bhakti, he will attain Krishna, Brajenanandan Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. Raganuga Marge Bhaje, that's very clear. Bhaje means to worship. You worship Rag Marg. Jana means person. Say Janapaya means to receive or attain. Such a person will attain Krishna and Braj. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. That's where we want to go. We're there. Don't leave. Let everything go its own way. You go your way, that goes that way. Dear husband, I'm staying in Braj. Okay, bye. Just send me money every month. Oh yeah, no problem. How much you need? 35,000, 40,000, good. Okay. When do I start paying? Next month. Okay. Why not? You'll say no? You can't say no to you. Get lost. Okay, good, don't come back. My dream came true. I don't know about this. Oh, 1273, okay. There it is. Oh. Okay. Okay. Now, Lord Chaitanya, after this is what is this? This is Madhya Lila, Chapter 7, verse 24. What's going on? Right. Hi, Bob. Let's see. This is verse 24. After Lord Chaitanya received all the teachings of Ramananda, it's called Ramananda Samvad, the speech or the words of Ramananda Roy, who answered all the questions of Lord Chaitanya. And in the beginning of the chapter, Ramananda Roy says, I'm like a parrot and you're making me speak. But everything I'm saying is you're speaking through my mouth. So the teachings of Rag Bhakti and all the teachings of Radha Tattva and Krishna Tattva and Prema Tattva, which are in Madhya chapter 8, are actually spoken by Lord Chaitanya through the mouth of Ramananda Roy. But after he heard those teachings, he said this verse, which appears in chapter 7 of Madhya Lila. Because Lord Chaitanya is remembering different devotees and the contribution that they made. He glorifies Nityananda Prabhu, what a contribution he made, and Sarvabhauma. And here he's remembering Ramananda Roy. This is Madhya Lila, so he's remembering Ramananda Roy, and he's explaining. He says, Tate Prema Bhakti Purasharta Shiromani Rag Marge Prema Bhakti Sarvadika Jani. He says Krishna Prema Bhakti. Right? Tate Prema Bhakti. Therefore Prema Bhakti, Krishna Prema Bhakti is a Purasharta Shiromani. It's a crest jewel, Shiromani, crest jewel of all desirable objectives of the human being. And we say Panchama Purusharta. In Hindi they say Chatu Purusharta. 4 goals of human life. The 4 attainments of human life. Dharma, art, Kama, and moksha. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the 5th one. He says Panchama Purusharta. The 5th one. What's the 5th one? Prem. Prem means you love your wife.
Krishna Prema.
Prem in Hindi means love. I prem you.
I think.
So you have to say Krishna Prem, Radha Prem. You know? So we say Radha Govinda Yugal Prem. As we're not Krishna Upasikas, we're not Radha Upasikas, we're Yugal Upasikas. Worship Radha and Krishna. But we're specifically worshiping Krishna. The Krishna aspect of our Yugal Upasana comes by fixing our mind and heart on worshiping Radharani. Jai Jai Shri Radhe! Hey, come on, up. Come on, Radharani's watching you. You shout my name, go. So go ahead. So what does Lord Chaitanya say? He says, by the mercy of Ramananda Roy, I understand that Krishna Prema Bhakti is the crest jewel of all human objectives. And Ramananda Roy taught me that Prema Bhakti can only be attained by Ragnuga Bhakti. Rag Marg Prema Bhakti Sarvadika Jani. Jani means understand, Sarva Adik. The highest of all objectives is Krishna Prema, and it's only attained by Ragnuga Bhakti. Rag Marg Prema Bhakti Sarvadika Jani. So this is the contribution of Ramananda Roy. He taught Rag Bhakti, and he taught this highest principle. Now, we are going to hear how Lord Chaitanya taught Raghunaga Bhakti to Rupa Goswami. Ready? Yeah. Okay, we have to go back. Madhya Lila chapter 19, Rupa Goswami, Rupa Shiksha it's called, to be fancy. Go. Okay, great soundtrack. Where's my tambura? Going, 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 going. Then Krishna enters the kunja. Going, going, going. Great background. Okay. This is a great verse. Fantastic verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke this verse, directly spoke this verse. This is Manjari, chapter 19, and his teachings to Lord to Rupa Goswami in Benares. Benares is what? Varanasi? The modern day Varanasi was previously called Benares. There's a university in Varanasi called Benares.
Hindu University.
It used to be called Benares, now it's called Varanasi University.
No, it's same PH.
Benares.
Banaras Hindu University.
Yeah. It's, you learn Sanskrit there, yeah?
All.
Go study. Go to study Benares. Sanskrit, 12 years. Later. So what's the verse? Tell me the verse. 19-36. Bhavate Bhavate Krishna Spurye Antare Krishna Kripai Agya Paya Rasa Sindhu Pare. This is what Lord Chaitanya concluded. When, by continually meditating upon Krishna, then by Krishna's mercy, Krishna will manifest even in the heart of an ignorant person. Oh, good. There's some luck. There's some hope for us. First canto of Bhagavatam says, Manda Sumanda Matiyo. Mati means intelligence. Mati means slow, stupid, dead slow, खूब slow. Bhavati, by and by. Bhavati, Bhavati, Krishna's way. Krishna Antare. Krishna will manifest in your heart. Dire, dire. Krishna Kripai Agya. Paya Rasa Sindhu Pari. Pari means you'll cross. You'll cross an ocean of Ras. This is the translation my teacher gave me. By continually meditating upon Krishna, then by Krishna's mercy, Krishna will manifest in the heart even of the ignorant. And Prabhupada's book, BBT, says, when devotee thinks of Krishna constantly, bhavate, bhavate, love for Krishna, Krishna brain will manifest in the heart. Spore means sporty. Manifest, antare means inside. Antar. Krishna spore antare. Even though one may be agya, one may be ignorant, one can reach the far shore of the ocean of transcendental love by Krishna's mercy. Krishna Kripa. This is a great verse for all bozos. Bozos and losers, Western losers. It's a very nice verse. I think this verse is a very nice verse. Madhya, you should memorize this verse. Madhya, chapter 19, 236. Tell your brother also. Bhavate Krishna's Spray. Because some people say, oh, it's so hard to do Smaran, I fall asleep and this and that, and I close my eyes, do Smaran. You just have to keep going. And Krishna's waiting to see how determined you are, how detached you are, how determined you are, how much you want Him, how much you want to be there and be there with that whole meditation. Then He'll give you sporti. Bhavate Krishna Spuri Antare Krishna Kripai Agyapai Rasa Sindhu Pare. Pare means to cross. You'll cross an ocean of bliss, an ocean of rasa. You'll receive that. Paya means receive an ocean of rasa by Krishna's mercy. So how do we get Krishna's mercy? Bhavate. Bhavate means keep meditating. Meditate. Svarin, not snoring. So, now, Rupa Goswami, first he taught Rupa, then he taught Sanatan. So chapter 19 is Rupa Shiksha, and chapter 22, and many chapters after that, chapter 21, 22, 23, are called Sanatan Shiksha. Chaitanya Caritamrita Madhya chapter 22. It says many beautiful verses. Oh. That's not chapter 21, 22, not 21. Jairati, 22. Another important chapter is for Siddhanta. In terms of Rasa Siddhanta, Madhya chapter 8, Nadi chapter 4. But the Rupa Shiksha and Sanatan Shiksha, these give the whole summary of all the type of philosophy. From Madhya chapter 19 to 22. 19, 20, these, everything is there in these verses. Because Lord Chaitanya is directly speaking. Like Krishna spoke Gita and spoke Bhagavatam, he spoke so many verses in Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya literally taught all the Tattva's in Rupa chapter, Madhya chapter 19 through 22. So we're trying to get to the place here in 22. Because I outlined the top of the page, I wrote all different Tattva. There's Krishna Tattva, Nam Tattva, every Tattva, Jiva Tattva, everything is there. It's fantastic. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, well, no, not there yet. And someone asked me about Hari Bhakti Las. Do we have to study? It's all that's told in here. The essential part of Hari Bhakti Las, Lord Chaitanya teaches this essence in chapter 22. So someone said, I read Hari Bhakti Las, so I have to follow all the things in there. There's 25,000 things in there. Yeah, you have to follow. The teacher will give you an idea of what to do. That's why I say you have a teacher, it saves time. If you pick up a guitar and try to learn pick up a vina and try to learn on your own, you twang. But you have to get a teacher, then you learn faster. So the Guru is there to save time. Time-saving devices. Okay. Now, are you ready?
Ready.
So Sanatan Goswami, Lord Chaitanya's teacher, he said, text 148, chapter 22, Madhya Lila. Vaidhi Bhakti Sadhanera Kailo Vivaran Raganuga Bhakti Lakshan Shuna Sanatan. So now he's teaching Raga Bhakti to Sanatan Goswami. Really? Gaudiya Vaishnava means Raga Bhakti? Yeah. My dear Sanatan, I described in detail devotional service according to rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti. Now I'm going to teach you Raganuga Bhakti. Then he goes on from 148 to 164. Do I hear the summary of Raga Bhakti?
Yeah.
You're only saying yes because you have to fast. You have to fast till moonrise. And there's nowhere to go. You have a nice wall to lean on, the fan's blowing. That's nice. Well, you could fall asleep, but I have my friend behind me to keep you from sleeping. If he wasn't there, okay, good night. This is text 149. Ragadmika Bhakti, Mukhya Brajavasi Jan, Tanra Anugata Bhakti Raganuga Nam. That Bhakti which follows the eternal associates, the love in the heart of the eternal associates, Radharani and Gopis, they have Ragadmika Bhakti. And that's their principal. Ragamika Bhakti, it's Mukhya, it's a principal chief main manner of Bhakti among all Bhaktis. In Vatsalya Bhav, and Dasya Bhav, Sekha Bhav, Madhurya Bhav. Anugatya Bhakti. A Bhakti, Anugatya means to follow. So we're follow Anugatya Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti is the name. Raganuga Bhakti means to follow, go beyond Anugatya. What's the prayer we say to Tulsi every morning? Eineva Danadara Sakir Anugata. We say the prayer Sakir Anugata. That means Sakir means plural. Sakir Anugata is the same word here. Anugata means to follow. We're praying to Tulsi, we're praying to Brinda Devi. Brinda Devi, please give me the Adhikar, please give me the qualification to follow Rupa Manjari and Lalita Sakhi, Vishaka Sakhi. Give me the Adhikar, Adhikar DA. Niveda means request. Niveda means I'm requesting you, Tulsi, please give me the Adhikar, the qualification, for Seva Gopis. That's the verse. Now 150. That was nice. Krishna's calling him. Text 153, we read that before actually. Love Brajavasi Bhave Karyanugati Shastrayukti Nayamani Raganugar Prakriti. The nature of Rag Bhakti is you don't care about, it's not impeded by Shastra conjunction. You follow Shastra, but it's not the starting point. Starting point is greed, attraction. Anyway, I'll skip here. Verse 156, chapter 22. Lord Chaitanya's teaching. Lord Chaitanya, these are two main verses. He said, there's two forms of Raganuga sadhana, external and internal. Text 156, 157. Bayantara ihar dui tate sadhan, baya sadakade kari shravana kirtan. Mane nija siddhadeya karya bhavan, rachi dine kari braja krishna sevan. So Lord Chaitanya himself, from his own mouth, is saying that Raganuga Bhakti is two forms of Raganuga Bhakti, in siddhadeya and in sadakadeya. Externally, Baya and Antara. Ihara Dui Sadhana. There's Baya Sadhakadeya and Kari Shravana Kirtan. So in our Sadhakadeya, we hear and chant about Radha Krishna. And then in our Siddhadeya, it says, Nija Siddhadeya, in your personal Siddhadeya, in your mind, you also do Seva. Day and night. Do Krishna Seva to Krishna Vrindavan. So this verse was it was Bengali, and Guru Goswami put it in Sanskrit. Bhakti Rasamrita is spoken in Sanskrit, and this book is spoken in Bengali. So the same verse, because he heard from Lord Chaitanya the teaching of Rag Bhakti, and he wrote about it in Sanskrit what he learned from Lord Chaitanya in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Seva Sak Rupena, Sirupena Chatri. Tadbhava Lipsana Karya, Brajvalokana Chatri. So I have a comment, the translation of this verse, in our Seva Sak group, in our Siddharup, in our Siddharup, in our Sak group, we have to serve Krishna and following the footsteps of the Brijvasis, like Rupa Manjari, Vishaka Saki, etc., Guru Saki. Now, my teacher taught me the key word here. It says Chatrahi. Seva Sak Rupena, Sirupena, Chatri. He said Chatrahi means now. And word for word, he says, Chaitra, Cha-atra becomes Chatrahi. He says in this connection. But my teacher said, it's Chatrahi. It means right now must practice the daily sadhana of contemplating your individual siddhaya. So sometimes we've heard people from different missions, they say you can practice Raga Bhakti without siddhaya. You can just do Shravana Kirtanam. But we heard Lord Chaitanya say, Bhaya Antara Iha Dui Sadhana, Bhaya Sadhaka De Shravana Kirtan. Lord Chaitanya is saying there's two kinds of sadhana, in your sadhguru and your siddharup. And then, so sometimes they say, well, he's not saying at the same time. So they do a little word juggling, and they say, you can practice, you don't have to have siddhaya to practice Raga Bhakti. Lord Chaitanya said, you can practice Raga Bhakti in your sadhguru just right here in chanting. They neglect it, he says siddharup. So to make sure that doubt couldn't be created by quoting the Bengali, Rupa Goswami made very, very specific in Sanskrit when he wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He says, Seva, Siru, Chatra, Chatri. And he's at the same time. You have to serve in your sadhguru and siddhar, which means you have to get siddhaya to do Raga Bhakti. According to the definition of Rupa Goswami, you want to practice Raga Bhakti, you have to have siddhaya. Otherwise, you're just mixing Vaidhi sadhana with Raga Bhakti. It's not really. It's like quasi. Right? It's not really Raga Bhakti. That's a very important point. Very important. One word means so much. Chatrahi. It just says in this connection. But Chatrahi means right immediately at the same time. Chatrahi means right now. My Guru Dev is a Sanskrit Pandit. So it's very important.
Atra means now.
Yeah, Atra means now. That's what he said. We said now. Atra means now. Now means now. Sargadeya, now Siddhaya. Both days. Is that clear? This is text 159. Let me read the BBT translation to show how people get confused. The verse says, the Bengali and the Sanskrit says one thing, and this is a translation of Seva Sagarupena Surupena Chatri in the BBT translation. It says, the advanced devotee who is inclined to spontaneous loving service should follow the activities of Brijvasis, of Krishna's Brijvasis, and should execute service externally as a regulative devotee as well as internally from his self-realized position. Thus he should perform devotional service both externally and internally. There's none of these words are in it. It doesn't say self-realized. It doesn't say advanced devotee. It doesn't say externalized regulative devotee. Translation is not clear and not accurate. It gives a wrong impression of what Rupa Goswami's teaching in the Raga Bhakti are. So somebody will take. See what Prabhupada says. Are you a Vespa? You're not a Vespa. You can't practice Raga Bhakti. You're a spontaneous. You have spontaneous loving service. Ragvarvan Chandrika, which is Vishnu's commentary on Nectar Devotion, on Raga Bhakti, on Rupa Goswami's Sutra. He says you can practice Raga Bhakti, start at Nartha Nivritti. New Bhakti can start Raga Bhakti. if he links up with a Raga Bhakti guru. So they're well-meaning, but we can say it's not clear. We can say it's distorted. It's like being in focus and out of focus. You look at a slide through a microscope at 50 power, can't see much. Turn to 300 power. Oh yeah, that's what's going on there. Oh. You got malaria. How do you know? Look inside. So there's the truth and there's the distorted truth. Unclear, I say unclear. So people take this and he beat people over the head with it. You're not eligible for Raga. Are you advanced? You're inclined to spontaneous loving service? No, I just want to read about Radha Krishna and go to Vrindavan. Now then, you go sell books. It's also good, but okay. Nija Bishta Krishna Preshna Pachita Lagia, this is 159. Nirantara Sevakari Antarmanahana. One should follow a Brijvasi and render service to them day and night. That's a good idea. This is text 164. Chapter 22, Madhya, and one of the last teachings of Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. He explains what's the benefit of practicing Raganuga Bhakti. E Matakari Jeva Raganuga Bhakti Krishna Charane Tanra Upajaya Priti. If one practices Raga Bhakti, love for Krishna will arise or manifest in the heart. His love for the Lord of Krishna will manifest in the heart. Krishna Charani Tanra Upajaya. Upajaya means manifest. Priti means love. The Priti Sandarbha is the last Sandarbha Jiva Goswami wrote. That's all about prema, Krishna prema. If one practices Raganuga Bhakti, love for Krishna will manifest. Krishna Charani Upajaya, Priti. Love for Krishna's feet. What's the time now? 4:32. Okay. Now, there's more. Krishna orders everyone to accept Gaura Bhava. Oh, job. What's this now? What's going to happen now? Me? Me too? Yes, you too. They say Lord Chaitanya sticks his hands like this out. He said, take it. It's called Dan Mudra. What do you call it? Karuna Mudra, like, take it. No thanks, not today. He said, both hands, one hand say, take it. I had some Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so I said, take it. Yeah, no, I said, take it. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. So he go one hand here, I'm giving Raga Mark, I'm giving Gopi Brain, Russia Brain, take it. No, take it! Yeah, many murtis like this, no? He's not hands down the side means blessings. This means take, I'm giving you something, man, take it. I give you a whole place full of frame. Not today. I'm going to MVT restaurant. For pizza. I can swear on Chaitanya Caritamrita, I never set my foot in that place. It's a nice place, but I'm not a frequent visitor to restaurants. Anyway, so let's see where we are here. So, 117. I'm going to go back in time here. 117. We're almost done, so you have to wake up pretty soon. Give your advance warning. Have a rude awakening. Jai Radhi Show. Okay, Jai Radhi. Can't turn these pages too good. Okay. Gotta go far and wide here. 117. What's up? Okay. This call. Yeah, wrong reference. Okay, Manjari chapter 8. Okay. Let's do that for Bhava, Raga and the Gopis. This is Madhya chapter 8, Ramananda Samvad, verse 228. Ramananda Roy is speaking, but as we already mentioned, when Ramananda Roy is speaking, actually Lord Chaitanya is speaking, because he fully agrees with everything Ramananda is saying, because he ordered Ramananda Roy to speak about Raga Bhakti and Gopal, and so he's coming to the conclusion of those teachings inspired by Lord Chaitanya and directed by Lord Chaitanya. This thing's on. You can hear it? You can hear it. Okay. So this is text 228. Ateva Gopi Bhav Karyangikar Rachidina Chinte Radha Krishna Vihar. Ateva Gopi Bhave Karyangikar. So Lord Chaitanya is ordering here. He said Ateva. Therefore, Gopi Bhav Angikar. Angikar means accept. Everyone should accept Gopi Bhav, Rachi Dine Chinte, Radha Krishna Vihar. And day and night one should meditate on the pastimes of Radha Krishna. Then what's the result? Siddha Deye Chinte, Karitan Sevan, Sakhi Bhave Paya, Radha Krishna Charan. If in the mood of the Braja Gopis, Sakhi Bhava Paya means accept the mood of Sakhi Bhav, and then in your Siddha Chinti, do Kari Sevan. Accept Gopi Bhav, and in the have it translation here. In the bhava of Vraja Gopi, Sakis and Manjaris, one should think of the Siddhaya and engage in the service of Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna Charan. He said, if you Siddhaya Chinti, Chinti means to think of your Siddhaya and do seva, with the bhava of Saki, then Paya Radha Krishna Charan. Paya means you'll attain the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. That's where we're going. That's what we're doing. And that's the end of the class. So this is, we're describing the internal and external reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. The external reason is spreading Krishna, Dharma and the broadcasting the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Nam Sankirtan. From Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. And he proclaims that in the Shiksastakam opening verse. This is the purpose of his advent. That's external, it's called Bahiranga Hetu. But Antaranga Hetu, we just explained, is to preach and teach the world Raganuga Bhakti and worship Radha Krishna and Gopi Bhav. So to get Gopi Bhav, you have to accept Gopi Bhav, and in that Bhav and mood of Adasi Radharani, serve Radha Krishna throughout the day and night, and you'll attain the lotus feet of Krishna. This is the conclusion of the class. And this is the whole teaching, the Taiva aspect of Caitanya Caritamrita. The Leela aspect of Caitanya Caritamrita shows Lord Chaitanya totally in Raga Marg himself, every moment of his days, exhibiting the perfect practitioner of Raga Marg. He's always meditating on Krishna's Leela, and always in the bhava, Gopi Bhava Radharani, Mahabhava Radharani, and always remembering Radha Krishna's pastimes. So there's so many instances where he's tasting Jagat Mahaprasad, and he feels he's kissing. When Lord Chaitanya says, he's tasting Mahaprasad as the sadhaka, Jagat Mahaprasad. But he said, what is this taste? It's such extraordinary taste. So he said, you have to tell us. He says, I feel I'm tasting Krishna's lips. So he was eating Krishna Prasad, but he's in Radha Bhav, he's in Gopi Bhav, so his experience on kissing Krishna. Jagannath Swami is Prajandananda and Krishna, so he's taking Mahaprasad. Oh, this is the taste of Krishna's lips. Krishna Dara Amrita, this is the nectar from Krishna's lips. Hey, this is not Lila. So throughout the Chaitanya Caritamrita, from the Adi Lila, Madhya, he's always in Radha Bhav and showing an example of being in Gopi Bhav and remembering Radha Krishna. Lord Chaitanya's example in the Leelas he showed, he's always remembering Radha and Krishna, especially Radharani, Krishna, because he's in Radha Bhav, and so he's in Sakhi Bhav, and he's always rendering service in his mind, remembering their Leelas and hearing about their Leelas. He's hearing Gita Govinda in the Gambhira, he's hearing Jagannath Nataka, he's hearing Dasma Skanda, Raslila from Bhagavatam, and he's hearing all Chanidas bhajans and Vijayavati bhajans in the Gambhira and all the Purva Rag, falling in love with Radha Krishna, falling in love. He absorbs himself in Krishna Lila. So he's the ideal teacher of Rag Bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached Rag Bhakti, he followed Rag Bhakti, he taught Rag Bhakti, he lived Rag Bhakti. He breathed Rag Bhakti. So genuine follower of Mahaprabhu will be a practitioner of Rag Bhakti. I will retract the word genuine. I'll say a fortunate follower of Lord Chaitanya will get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and his associates to practice Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, which is what he came to give and teach. What he came to teach and what he came to give is Manjari Bhava, Bhava Lasrati of Manjaris. This is a great gift of Lord Chaitanya, hasn't been given ever before. And if one doesn't get this, it brings tears to our eyes. It brings tears to the eyes of the Karunamayi Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya's greatest contribution to this world is Manjari Bhava, Bhava Lasrati, and if people aren't getting it, it's a great misfortune. It creates great sadness in the heart. So I encourage everyone take advantage of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and practice Raganuga Bhakti Bhajan and Manjari Bhav. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. So now we're going to have